Melania Trump finally broke her silence and just posted this awkward video across all of her social media accounts in an attempt to promote her new book. And it's really giving JD Vance vibes, pretending to be a human being, trying desperately to be relatable when they are really out of touch. Now, we have multiple stories to break down this morning, so we actually have no time to waste. As always, just like the video and subscribe to this channel. Before we dig into Melania Trump's awkward video, I think it's really important that we highlight the lies that Donald Trump told last night. We need to debunk these lies because if we don't, we cede ground to MAGA and let Trump control the narrative. So, Daniel Dale on CNN always does a good job at his rapid-fire deconstruction of Trump's lies, and I think this is worth a watch.
So, Daniel, let's start with this claim about Iran and terror. Listen.
Iran was broke. They didn't have the money for Hamas and for Hezbollah. They didn't have the money for anybody. We went 4 years without any blow-ups. We had no World Trade Center blow-up. We had no radical Islamic terror. We had no radical Islamic terror.
What say you, Daniel?
I say there are two claims there, and they're both false. So first, this claim that Iran did not have money for Hamas, Hezbollah, and other terror groups during his presidency, that's wrong, as his own administration acknowledged in 2020. Iran continued funding these terror groups throughout his presidency, although it did reduce funding, experts say, when it came under sanctions pressure from Trump. And then the second claim that we had no radical Islamic terror is also wrong. There were terror attacks by Islamic extremists under Trump. There was one that Trump repeatedly lamented during his presidency. It was the attack that killed 8 people on the West Side Highway in New York. DOJ alleged it was carried out in support of ISIS. And then, of course, there was a 2019 attack by an extremist member of the Saudi military on a U.S. Military facility that killed 3 U.S. Navy sailors. DOJ alleged that that was carried out by a jihadist who was a longtime associate of an al-Qaeda group.
Yep.
And Trump also said this about the CNN interview with Kamala Harris and her running mate.
If you watch that interview, she had notes. That means she knew the questions, and she had notes. She kept looking down, up. Nobody wants to cover it.
Give us the fact check, Daniel.
Nobody wants to cover it because it did not happen. Vice President Harris did not have notes in her interview with Dana Bash. You can look at images, photos, videos from that interview if you're skeptical. There is nothing on the table right in front of her. All that's there are Dana Bash's notes.
This photo of Kamala Harris during the CNN interview debunks the entire MAGA narrative. That was a great job from Daniel Dale. And can I just say, it really annoys me when I talk to Trump supporters and they say, oh, well, all politicians lie, as if Democrats lie at the same level as Republicans or Donald Trump in particular. Donald Trump introduced a whole new style of lying to the political landscape. His constant bombardment with lie after lie after lie in every single sentence that he says has never been seen before in any politician. Joe Biden making a mistake in an interview and recalling a number that is a little bit off is not the same as Donald Trump just making stuff up all of the time. And this brings us to Melania Trump's goofy video where she claims that she is the victim. She claims that she's been a victim of misrepresentation and public scrutiny that she doesn't deserve, while she's been right next to Donald Trump throughout this whole thing. I'm gonna play this video. Hopefully YouTube doesn't cut out the music. It should be fine.
Writing this memoir has been a deeply personal and reflective journey for me. As a private person who has often been the subject of public scrutiny and misrepresentation, I feel a responsibility to clarify the facts. I believe it is important to share my perspective, the truth.
And then it's a bunch of dramatic music, and I have a few questions here. So first of all, do we really expect Melania Trump to put the truth, some behind-the-scenes facts, in a book 2 months before the election? I mean, the idea that she would put anything in there that is remotely close to some behind-the-scenes truth or her perspective or what it was like being in her shoes or things that Donald Trump actually has said to her, no shot she is going to put anything like that in this book. Also, she acts like she is the victim or she has been misrepresented, but every time she makes a public appearance or something is leaked, like remember that Christmas phone call where she's saying, why do I have to put up these effing decorations? And also, she walks out in a jacket that says says, "I don't effing care, do you?" So it's not like she provides herself the best optics either way. And also, this video is so obviously low effort. They put Melania in front of some sort of screen, and they gave her some kind of bad lighting. They put it in black and white, and they just said, "Read off this teleprompter." This was probably the first time she read this in her entire life. She read it, and then she left, because the Trump family loves to just stand in front of a camera for a bit awkwardly and ramble. You know what this video reminded me of? Melania Trump selling her book. Reminded me of Donald Trump selling these NFT cards. I half expected Melania Trump to pull out some NFT cards, and this video right here genuinely seems like AI. I mean, half of the comments are like asking if this video is real. Donald Trump, this video is real.
Favorite president, Donald J. Trump, with some very exciting news. By popular demand, I'm doing a new series of Trump digital trading cards. You all know what they are. We've had a lot of fun with them. It's called the America First Collection. 50 all-new stunning digital trading cards. It's really something. These cards show me dancing and even me holding some Bitcoins. Here's the best part.
This dude has no clue what a Bitcoin is, and you know, I've played a lot of airtime with the Trump family grifting, so if you made it this far in the video, I do want to urge you to make a recurring donation to the Kamala Harris campaign. I set up my $50 per week recurring donation, so every week I send $50 to the campaign. They can use it however they want, and I think that is a good way to contribute to democracy. We are also doing door knocking, canvassing in Wisconsin early October, so as the election gets closer, we are really ramping up these mobilization tactics, trying to participate in democracy.
Purchase 15 or more of my Trump digital trading cards.
Nobody's gonna do that. It reminds me of this article. Anthony Scaramucci says Melania Trump hates her husband. Anthony Scaramucci, the former White House communications director, believes Melania Trump despises her husband Donald Trump, who's on the campaign trail with hopes of being reelected to the presidency in November. The cool part is, this happened on the MeidasTouch Network. Quote, "She hates him," Scaramucci told the MeidasTouch podcast over Labor Day weekend. Scaramucci spent 10 days with the Trump administration. One Scaramucci, before being unceremoniously booted in January 2019. Quote, "I judge the hatred of Donald Trump by the Melania standards," Scaramucci said. "I've met one person that hates Trump more than Melania. It's General Mark Milley." Milley served as the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staffs in the Trump administration before retiring in September. In his farewell address, Milley appeared to refer to his former boss as a, quote, "wannabe dictator," and stated that U.S. service members take an oath to guard against, quote, "all enemies, foreign and domestic." And I don't want to stereotype, but Mark Milley strikes me as somebody who is a lifelong Republican and then saw Donald Trump and the destruction he causes firsthand, and that is why he absolutely hates Donald Trump. This is a true American in the rawest form, and he knows that Donald Trump is the antithesis of what America should stand for. He is a wannabe dictator. I don't know, maybe Mark Milley is a huge liberal. I'm just guessing here. Because a lot of people who were once Republicans now want to distance themselves from the Republican Party, if you can even call it that anymore. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment a blue heart, subscribe, and peace out.